This is part 2 of angle and lines relationships. This is part 2 of angle and lines relationship. So we'll put part 2. Boom. Alright, so on the earlier video, if you have not seen it, you can go and watch it now. It is angles and lines relationships. We explained vertical angles are opposites and they are equal to each other. Adjacent angles are side by side, which means they share a common side. Complementary angles add up to equal 90 degrees. And then supplementary angles add up to equal 180 degrees. Now, one thing we also did was we came up with this. C comes before S, so that means 90, and 90 comes before 180. Catch it. C comes before S, 90 comes before 180. So that means complementary is 90 degrees, supplementary is 180 degrees. And when I say C comes before S, of course I mean alphabetically, right? And 90 comes before 180 numerically, okay? So, example 1, we're just going to jump straight into it. We have to find this angle here, X, all right? Well, actually, we're going to do both angles, all right? So, we have 2x plus 23 degrees, and then we have x degrees. So, now, we know that if we add these two together, this is a straight line. So, write down exactly what you know. I know that 2x plus 23 degrees plus x should equal 180 degrees. That's just by observation, okay? Now, so I know I can drop the parentheses now. 2x plus 23 plus x equals 180 degrees. I need to combine like terms. What are my like terms? The terms that have the same variable. So I have 2x and x, and then 23 is just a regular term by itself. Now, as you recall, when you move like terms and reorganize, you need to circle them, the term and the sign in front. So I have 2x already at the front, then I need to move plus x, and then I bring down plus 23, then equals 180. So all we're doing here, we simplified this equation. 2x plus x is giving me 3x plus 23 equals 180. Now we have a two-step equation. So we're going to subtract 23 on both sides. They added, so we're going to do the inverse operation, which is subtracting on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels out. I'm left with 3x equals 180 minus 23, which is 157. Do not try this at home. All right, so then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. X equals 157 divided by 3, 52, and it has 0.3 remaining, but we'll just say 0.3. So now that is x. Now, so if I wanted to find this other angle, I can do two things. First, I can plug in x into this expression, or because I know these angles are supplementary, they equal 180. So I can just plug in x. So I know if this is 180, if this is 52.3 and they both have to equal 180, I can just subtract the answer that I got from 180 to get the other side. So that's 180 minus 52.3. That gives me 127.7. So I found two values. I found the value of x, which is this angle, and then I found the value of this other angle. Number 2, we have angles. VSR and ASA are vertical angles. Vertical angles. So when we stop and think about this, we know that vertical angles are two things. They are opposites, but most importantly, they are also congruent to each other, which means they are equal. So we have angles VSR and angles ASA are vertical. Now, so we need to write that. Angles VSR equals angle ASA, because if they are vertical, that means they are congruent, which means they are equal to each other. All right. So angle VSR is 3x equals angle ASA is 5x minus 36 degrees. Now we want to find the value of x, that's 1, and then secondly we want to find the value of angle ASA. Now, here, you can rewrite this if you would like and drop the parentheses. So we have 3x equals 5x minus 36. Again, you want to get x on the side by itself. So I'm going to subtract 5x from this side and bring it to this side. And so that'll give me negative 2x equals, this cancels out, negative 36. Negative 2x equals negative 36. So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2 because x is being multiplied by negative 2. So I'm going to divide it by negative 2 on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels out. I have x equals 18, positive 18. So I did the first thing. I had to find the value of x, that is 18. Mission complete for the first part. Now, second part, I want to find the value of measure angle ASA. So I'm just going to write this here so I can make sure that I find the value of the right one. It did not say VSR, it said ASA. So that's why I wrote it here, to make sure that I understand that I'm following the directions. Then I'm going to write what it equals. (5x minus 36). Now I'm going to sub in the answer I got here for x. So this is 5 times x, so that's 5 times 18 minus 36. So when we do 5 times 18, we get 90. Bring down minus 36. So now we do 90 minus 36 and we get 54. So the angle ASA equals 54 degrees. So we found the value of x, which was 18, and we plugged that in into angle ASA to find the value of ASA, which was 54 degrees. Moving on. The measure of angle C is 6x plus 16.8, and the measure of angle J is 2x. All right. So if angle C and angle J are supplementary, what is the value of x? What is the value of each angle? So we're going to take it one at a time. So angle C and angle J are supplementary, which means if you add those two together, you would get 180 degrees. That's the first thing. Knowing that angle C plus angle J is 180 degrees. What is the value of angle X? All right, so now we need to plug in the values of C and J. C is 6x plus 16.8. J is 2x, and they equal 180 degrees. Just as in the other problem, we need to move some things around, so we need to combine like terms. So we have 6x plus 2x, which will give us 8x plus 16.8, which equals 180. So I have 6x plus 2x, that's how we got 8x. And then we have still plus 16.8 equals 180. So with this two-step equation, we undo addition and subtraction first, which means I need to subtract 16.8 on both sides. 180 minus 16.8 gives me 162. 163 plus 2. This cancels out. I'm left with 8x. Then I need to divide both sides by 8. This cancels out. X equals 20.4. X equals 20.4. That's the first part. Find the value of x. Now I need to find the measure of each angle. So first I'm going to take angle C. That equals 6x plus 16.8. I'm going to plug in my answer, which is 20.4 for x. So that's 6 times x, so that's 6 times my answer, 20.4, plus 16.8. So 6 times 20.4 is 122.4. Check behind myself real quick. Put it in twice, cool. Then I bring down plus 16.8. And I get 139.2. Alright? Now, at this point, angle C equals 139.2 degrees. At this point, I can subtract this from 180 because I know angle C plus angle J equals 180. So I can just subtract what I have from 180. But just for the purposes of knowing how to go in and sub in your answer, we're going to just do both angles. Angle J equals 2x. Instead of putting x, I need to put my answer, which was 20.x. I multiply 2 times 20.4, and I get 40.8. Now, in order to make sure that my answer is correct, these two added together should give me 180. So 139.2 plus 40.8 is 180 degrees. That's how I know that my answers are correct. So what is the value of x? 20.4. What is the measure of each angle? For angle C, we get 139.2 degrees. For angle J, we get 40.8 degrees. This is if these two angles are supplementary. Now, so what if they are complementary? That is example number 4. So you can pause at this time and see what if they are complementary. All right. So if C and J are complementary, what is the value of x? First step, write down the equation. It says angle C plus angle J. They are complementary, so I know that equals 90 degrees. This is my first step. Do not skip the first step. So angle C is 6x plus 16.8. Angle J is 2x. They equal 90 degrees. So just as up here, I'm going to combine my like terms. This is 6x plus 2x, which is 8x, plus 16.8 equals 90. Do not put 180. These are complementary, so they equal 90 degrees. If I subtract on both sides, 16.8, I get 70. This cancels out. 8x equals 73.2. Now, because x is multiplied by 8, I want to do the opposite and divide by 8 on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels out. X is equal to 73.2 divided by 8, 9.15. So I did the first part. I found what the value of x was. That's 9.15. So now I need to find the measure of each angle. So first, just as we did up top, we had angle C equals 6x plus 16.8. We're going to plug in our answer, which was 9.15 for x. So that's 6 times x, but instead of putting x, remember we have to put our answer, so that's 6 times 9.15 plus 16.8. So that's 6 times 9.15. That gives us 54.9 plus 16.8. The angle measure of C equals 71.7. So we can subtract this from 90 and see what the angle measure of J is. So we're going to do that real quick. 90 minus 71.7. So angle J should equal 18.3. Now we're going to check just to make sure. Angle J equals 2x. Sub in your answer for 9.15. Two times 9.15 will give you indeed 18.3. So that just shows us that it works when we just subtract this angle from 90, because we know when we add those together, they are 90. So what is the value of x? 9.15. What is the value of angle C? 71.7 degrees. The value of angle J is 18.3. If we add those two together, we get 180 degrees. Oh, no. We get 90 degrees because they are complementary. So we know that our answer is correct. Angle and line relationships, part 2.